Hello everyone, my name is Jessica Nuck, and for today's look, we're taking a trip to the Lost Woods. The inspiration for this look is Hyrule's oldest and dearest friend. She sees his potential before anyone else, giving Link the key to unlock his own destiny. She's the sage of the Forest Temple, the dream girl of the Kokiris. She's Saria. Now, even though Saria's appearances in the game may be short-lived, she's clearly one of the only characters who knows what the fuck is up, even before it's even revealed that she's a sage. And I mean, this shit's pretty convoluted, so being able to navigate life while living in a giant stump and being able to help your boy on the down low, now that's talent. She's loyal, she's smart, and she can play a mean ocarina. She's Saria. Saria sang her way into our hearts when she first welcomed us in Ocarina of Time in 1998. Obviously, being that this is a look inspired by the Forest Temple Sage, I had to draw inspiration from the forest. I wanted to blend different types of greens together for that reason. This is what I would call the green smoky eye look. A little bit more dramatic, but it could easily be toned down and worn out. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to use our foundation. I'm applying it with a brush first. So I'm just pumping a little bit onto it. And a little bit more. I'm just going to glob it right on there. Once you've painted yourself up like a Picasso, we're just gonna blend it into our actual face and neck. Don't forget the neck. So next we are going to be doing our brows. I'm using the Benefits Brow Zings kit. The first step is going to be using the wax. So the kit comes with two brushes. I just used this one out of the kit. So it's this kind of like angled brush. I use that for the wax. So you take a little bit of the wax and kind of shape your brows the way you want them. So the next step is going to be blending the wax. So I use this brush. It's another angled brush, but it's thicker and easier to control because it's got a longer handle. So I'm just going to take this brush and I'm going to kind of like blend the wax in. So now that they're blended, I'm going to be using the powder, in the kit. I'm just going to use a little bit of the powder and then fill it in. And you can make your eyebrows as dark as you want, as big as you want, you know, do you. Everybody's got their own unique brow. You gotta do it up. Do it the way you want to do it. I like to do it lumpy, apparently. Another thing is, let's be honest, our brows are sisters. Or at the very least, they're fraternal twins. They're not like identical twins. No matter how hard you try. These here ladies, they do not give a fuck. They are going to do their own thing. They're going to be unique, you know? And so even though they look a little bit similar, they're not going to look the same. And maybe one brow is going to look real good and the other brow is going to have an off day. But that's all right. Because that's the way eyebrows go. And anybody who tells you any differently doesn't do their eyebrows. I can tell you that much. Okay, so now that you've dressed these puppies up, I mean, they're not perfect. They're never gonna be perfect. Neither of them are perfect. So we're gonna take our concealer. This is a Bella Pierre concealer, and we are going to clean them up a bit. you know, they drank a little bit too much at the pre-game party. Just need to take a little bit of water and sit down for a bit. Okay, so now that we're done our brows, the next step is going to be contouring. So I'm using my Smashbox contour palette. I'm actually just using one color out of here. I'm just going to be using this dark color, the darkest color in the palette. I don't really like the light powder, so I just use concealer, but you can use whatever you want, obviously. So we're gonna use this brush that comes with it for our cheeks, or under our cheekbones. Now for the rest of the contour, we are going to be using this brush that we used for our I used for my foundation, and I like this brush because it has a thin kind of like edge, so it's really easy to use for precision, which is kind of a must for contouring. So I'm going to use this on my nose. So now that we're done with the dark parts, we are going to be using, I'm using just this Maybelline kind of like stick concealer. So now that we have everything on our face, we're going to use our knockoff beauty blender to kind of blend it all into our face. So smush that smush around. So now that we're done with our face, we are going to move on to the eyes. Like I said in my last video, if you want to do the whole foundation contour thing after the eyes, it makes a little more sense, because then if anything gets on your face, you cover it up anyways. I'm a bad bitch, I don't care, so let's get going here. The first step is going to be using some eye primer. So I'm using Mica Beauty Cosmetics eye primer. I'm just going to use my finger to put it on because I'm an animal. Now that that's done, we're going to move on to the shadow. So all of the shadow that I'm using today is coming straight out of the Sephora Ombre Obsessions palette. And we're going to be using, obviously, the greens out of here. So now that our eyeshadow is done, we are going to move on to the eyeliner. I am using an angle brush. It's really thin. I like to use this brush to kind of make the lines that I'm going to be using for my wings, I guess. I like to use a smaller brush to fill in the lines. I'm using my Tarte Clay Pot eyeliner in black. Alright, now that we're done with our eyeliner, we're going to put a little bit of mascara on the top lashes. This is just so that we can blend the top lashes with our fake lashes. So I'm using my Smashbox Full Exposure Mascara. Now that we are done with our eyeliner and our mascara, we're going to move on to the lashes. So I'm using Velour lashes. They're just from Sephora. You can use any kind of lash. Other than that, I'm just using some tweezers, and I'm using Duo eyelash adhesive. There you have it. The eyelashes are activated. We're just going to finish everything up. So to finish off this look, we are going to do some stuff to the bottom lash line. So we're going to use Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On eyeliner. This is the shade Mars, so it's a really nice green shade. We're just going to kind of use it a little bit on the bottom lash line. And there's that. And now we are going to put some of the full exposure back on our bottom lash line. We're going to finish this look off actually with and a little bit of lipstick too actually. So you can use any shade for this. I'm using this kind of, it's B Matte City Color lipstick. This is the shade Cappuccino. I'm kind of using just like a really dull kind of like nudish tone. This is kind of a pinker nude obviously. Because, you know, the eyes are really the showstoppers here, so we don't want to outshine them. That's rude. We're gonna look. And there we go. That is the look. There you have it, my Saria inspired look. I want to see your recreations, reimaginings, or your accidental fails, so make sure you send them my way or tag them with the hashtag Jessica Nuck and I'll go and take a peek. Also, feel free to send me suggestions for looks in the future in the comments below and I'll do my best to accommodate those. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you next week.